just perfect.
He was really awesome to watch at this game because he was, I don't know how else to say it, but he was sexy in the way he could hit these little knockdown shots and these little twirlers.
The story of Payne Stewart is one that has been overshadowed and forgotten over time, but just may be the single most tragic story in the world of sports. Born in Missouri in 1957, Stewart came from humble beginnings. His father Bill had played in the 1955 U.S. Open, but never made it far in his career. Bill passed his passion for golf down to Payne, who began to play during his time at the Greenwood Laboratory School. He went on to play for Southern Methodist University in Dallas. Striving for more, his sights were not limited to collegiate levels, but Payne failed to acquire a PGA Tour card at qualifying school during his senior year at SMU. After nearly 3 years playing in the Asian golf circuit, Payne was finally able to secure a PGA Tour card for the 1982 season, where he won his first title. His early professional career consisted of wins such as the Walt Disney World Golf Classic and the Hertz Bay Hill Classic, where he donated all of his $108,000 prize winnings to a Florida hospital in the memory of his father who died from cancer. Stewart's first major win came in the summer of 1989 at the PGA Championship, where he came one stroke ahead of the runners-up Andy Bean, Mike Reed, and Curtis Strange.
Payne Stewart wins his first major championship. Mike Reed will finish a tie for second with Curtis Strange and Andy Bean. And they're dancing in Springfield, Missouri and Orlando, Florida.
Beyond his talents on the golf course, Stewart is widely remembered for his flamboyant style, bringing back an old-fashioned style from the early days of golf. In January of 1982, Stewart met fellow golfer Tim Berry. Berry owned the T. Berry Knicker Co. and made knickerbockers that Stewart immediately took a liking for. On a single sheet of paper, they struck up a deal where Payne would buy 3 pairs of knickerbockers and receive the 4th for free. The deal with Berry lasted for the entirety of Stewart's career. Stewart's style also earned him an endorsement from the NFL, where he would wear the colors representing the city in which the PGA Tour was. Payne's second major title win came in 1991 at the U.S. Open, where Stewart defeated Scott Simpson in an 18-hole playoff. An interview with Payne during the third round shows an insight into Payne's composure during the championship. An overall class act, Payne was a model for the rest of the sports world to follow.
Just rocketed one out here about 275 yards on the practice tee. How's your back?
It's good today. No problems.
You wear anything to
I've
protect
got a
yourself?
brace on today that I've worn the first 2 days, and it seems to help me stay more stable and connected in my lower back, which, you know, is important for a long, trying day like today's going to be.
We read earlier this week that you threw your 2-year-old son out of bed and you went to sleep in his bed. What's that about?
Well, the bed that I was sleeping on was a little bit soft, and every morning I was waking up, and so I decided, why should he have the best bed in the house? So I'd take him out at night and go put him in bed with my wife, and I'd go down there and sleep by myself.
With the wind up, does that alter your thinking, or do you just go out and play the same old way?
You got to play the same old way. I mean, the golf course is going to play totally different. We've got a different wind than we've had the first 2 days. So some of the holes that I hit driver on the first 2 days maybe won't be driver today, and vice versa. Some of the holes that I hit iron off the tees might be driver today.
You haven't been in this position in Open before, or have you?
Well, not in the U.S. Open, really. I played at Shinnecock where Raymond won. I was right there. I was leading the golf tournament with about 6 holes left to play, so I learned quite a bit from that day, and hopefully it'll carry over in the next 2 days for me.
Have a good day. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, Frank.
Stewart's final major win came in June of 1999 at the U.S. Open, where he sunk a 15-foot putt to clinch the win from Phil Mickelson. He credited his winning putt to being more at peace with himself after strengthening his religious beliefs.
Payne Stewart is the 1999 U.S. Open champion. Oh, my.
What a clutch putt. Good evening. There has been a freakish, fatal accident involving a Learjet flying across the country with no one in control. The plane was this 23-year-old Lear 35, and on board, Payne Stewart, one of the country's top golfers. This was him winning the U.S. Open this year for the second time. Flying with Stewart, 2 business associates and 2 pilots. Now, the plane was on its way from Orlando to Dallas when something happened shortly after takeoff. The plane veered off course and flew, apparently on autopilot, for 1,500 miles in a straight line.
At the height of his professional career, Payne Stewart's life was tragically cut short on October 25, 1999, just 4 months after winning the U.S. Open. On his way to Houston for the Tour Championships, Stewart planned to stop in Dallas to meet with the athletics department of SMU, his alma mater, to discuss building a new home course. The Learjet plane that Payne was flying on suffered an unexpected cabin depressurization shortly after takeoff. The inability for the passengers and crew to receive supplemental oxygen before hypoxia set in led to their incapacitation. The plane flew off course for almost 1,500 miles, being intercepted a total of 3 times by 5 fighter jets. The pilots of the fighters later remarked seeing no displacement in any of the control surfaces, no movement in the cockpit, and the windshield being iced over, a sign of decompression. After a total of 3 hours and 47 minutes in the air and an exhaustion of the onboard fuel supply, the Learjet banked to the right and started its descent. The plane impacted the ground at a supersonic speed, leaving a crater 42 feet long, 21 feet wide, and 8 feet deep. Stewart left behind a wife of 18 years and 2 children. His style, class, and natural swagger changed the game of golf. In 2000, the PGA established the Payne Stewart Award, given out yearly to the player who shows respect for the traditions of the game, commitment to uphold the game's heritage of charitable support, and professional and meticulous presentation of himself and the sport through his dress and conduct. Notable past winners of the award include golf greats such as Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and Bernard Langer. The Payne Stewart Golf Club was opened in Branson, Missouri in 2009 to further memorialize his life. Statues of Payne have been erected in Pinehurst, where he won his 1999 U.S. Open, Waterville Golf Links in Ireland, and the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Although he is gone, his legacy has been cemented, and Payne Stewart will live on.